Yo, what is up, boys and girls of the Mirko? Welcome to the MSC Wildcard official tier list from your boy Merks. Okay, I'm sorry firstly that I didn't upload earlier today because I had I did a podcast with Co-Ed that will be uploaded tomorrow. By the way, quick little info dump. I'll be flying out to Paris on the 29th of June. So tune into the wildcards on the 1st of July all the way to the 4th of July where we'll see really good MLBB. Legit. I genuinely think that way. I think this wildcard is the most stacked wildcard we've ever gotten. And expect the M Series wildcard to be even more stacked again. Because again, these teams are pretty legit. A lot of them. I went through all their matches. Well, not all their matches, but most of their final matches. Went through the ones that I think are important, at least. And we'll figure it out together here. All right? So let's go. Firstly, with Falcons. We're just going to go straight up with the teams that you see on your screen. So, starting with Falcons. Team Falcons have been here before. This is still the same lineup, by the way, guys, that they're going to be deploying this time around, all right? Not too many crazy changes for Team Falcons compared to the last time they played, which was M Series. They did pretty well in M Series, if you guys remember. Team Falcons, by the way, this is not PH, okay? This is the one with Sanji, yes, but not that Sanji. The Saudi Arabian Sanji, Cuffin, Sano, Troll, and Boyet. So Boyet's still in the lineup. Everybody's still the same. They still even have Pao Weeburn. Now, in the past, I'd feel in M Series, their drafts were the thing that was lacking. Was the thing that was lacking. If you look at the way that they play right now, it actually doesn't look too good in the MPL Meta Grand Finals, but that was with the previous meta. They didn't play with the utility jungle. I think with utility jungle, Boyet gets quite a bit of a buff. They did pretty well in M Series as well by playing those heroes up against Onyx. They went all the way 3 games. It's just, can they fix some of those issues that they've had in the past with drafts? That's the question. Because Pao Weeburn has always been great at game 1s, game 2s, but whenever it's the game to pop off, he goes for some really weird drafts sometimes. Just because they still have Boyet in the team, it's still Cuffin, Sano, Troll. They are a very experienced lineup. I don't think it's fair for me to put them in C. Obviously, I'm still going to put them pretty low just because I think the quality of the other teams this time around Wildcard are pretty good. Pretty good. Again, Falcons might get a boost. I genuinely am thinking about putting them in A, but it almost seems like their players don't even want to be there sometimes, At least in the grand finals, it looked very weird. It's not the Falcons of the past that was hungry to prove to the whole world that they deserve to be there. Let's move on to the Huns. The Huns Esports is quite interesting, chat, all right? Because if you guys follow the M Series Team Zone run, you guys should know some of the players here. Their mid lane, their XP lane were X Team Zone. It's Bankai and Kenny. They were pretty good, although I will say the top 2 guys in that lineup were Zuxora and K, and we'll get to them later when we get into the Mongols. But the Huns look pretty solid, okay? They still look very, very good. Bankai is still very good. He's got that experience. Kenny as well. But everybody else, Yuki, Oyu, still meta. This is going to be their first time in an international, and it'll be in Paris. I don't think the Huns will do that well, guys. Honestly, they have some star power. They are pretty decent. Individually, right? Especially Bankai and Kenny because they got that experience. But I don't think it's fair for me to put them up there. Right now, I really think they won't be doing too well, all right? I genuinely think they're probably going to be one of the first teams out this tournament. I hope they pull a Team Zone and they shock us because obviously that's what we're in for. But the group that they're in is very, very scary. There are 2 teams that are genuinely very, very good. Actually, I guess it's just Verso in their group. In Group B, it's just Verso Time. But everybody else seems to be I think Falcons are a bit better than them, so I'm going to say this for now, all right? Cloudy is just super clingy right now, by the way. What's going on here? All right, let's move on to the Mongols. Speaking of the Mongols earlier, Zuxora and K and my boy, Mr. Summer, has joined into this lineup, okay? So Team Mongols, they have pretty good players all across the board. I like that they brought in the 2 strongest players from the previous Team Zone run, but it's still just not the same team, I really thought they would keep the same lineup, try to go again, but unfortunately, not all of them could go and get picked up by the Mongols. The Mongols still want to keep Meiki. They still want to keep Mumu. And Meiki and Mumu have made it to a wild card before, guys. Unfortunately, the Mongols have never done really that well. I think maybe because they don't have the best jungler in Mongolia, Zuxora, definitely. And Right now, they have the best goal laner. They didn't have him before, K, in Mongolia. They also have Summer, who's amazing. He's great. I've talked to him, if you guys watched the Team Zone interview, and I think Mongols are actually going to be quite good, though they are in a very tough group, having said that. They're going to be the same group as King of Gamers Club, FUT Esports, and Alpha 7 North. So I might put Mongols a bit lower, honestly. I might put Mongols around B tier. I think they are stronger than Falcons, though, right now. I think they are very, very good. It's just, I don't know how good they are in this new meta. If the meta is still Assassins, I think Zixora can carry, but the fact that Zixora will have to be on utility jungle means that the other players who we haven't seen play too well will have to carry, other than K, obviously. I mean, K is still going to be great. So I'm going to put them right there. I think that's a very, very good spot to have them. Now we move on to the Japanese team that beat the old guard, I guess. You know, I mean, Mui Manette is part of this team, so the old guard of Japan is still here. It's just Ten and, you know, the boys, freaking Junichi. They lost. They lost to Sunset Ravens, which is crazy, by the way. Like, guys, when we talk about the other teams here, we see systems. We see, you know, like their own style of play that we've seen a couple of times from different internationals, right? For Falcons, it's all about calculation. It's all about slow fights. That's why when they go and randomly fight, they're dog shit. I'm expecting them to go back to their old style of calculation and just playing it simple. That's why I think in this meta, they might be better than Mongols, but we'll see. Mongols, a lot more dynamic, like in a way where they just like to go for team fights, and it's the same for the Huns. Now, for Sunset Ravens, I guess it's because it's a new team as well, but it just feels super weird. I don't know. Is it because the enemy team or the region is just not developing too fast? Is that why Sunset Ravens can get in? I don't know. These are all new players as well, so I think they're like up there with the Huns. I think they're the same level as the Huns. Obviously, maybe a bit more experience. Muimanet has been through more wild cards compared to the Huns. But again, the Huns with K and Bankai, they've technically already made it to an M series, right? They literally made it. So I'm just going to say Sunset Ravens fall under the C tier category. That's why Group B will be very interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of teams with the same rankings throughout, guys. All right? So keep an eye out on Group B. Group A, they'll also have a lot of like high tier. So I think if you guys want the best MLBB possible, you probably look at Group A. You look at Verso Time, that's for sure. But then, like, if you want equal competition, you look at Group A. Group B is just a Verso Time stomp, man. Let's move on to Nightmare. Now, Nightmare is a team that's always weird for me, man, and it's very, very sad. I mean no disrespect to the Laotians. Are they Laotians? Do I call them Laotians? To the people in Laos. I love you guys. It's just, unfortunately, these players haven't really shown anything in the international stage yet, all right? Like in the wild cards as well, maybe they get 1-2 wins, but they never really qualify from the wild cards. It's still the same team as well that we've seen time and time again from Laos. It's still Juviana. It's too easy for Lexi. It's Jasmine. They have some new additions. They got Filipino imports now, Nomad, to name a few. So at least they'll have a little bit more firepower. So maybe I can put them above Huns. Maybe they're still on the same level, though. I don't know. I think like around the same level. I genuinely think they're maybe just a bit higher. And these are all Group B teams, by the way, guys, right? So Nightmare, Sunset Ravens, and the Huns, they're all going to... I think it's going to be great matches here. Like these two are Falcons and the last team, Verso. A big gap as well. And let's move on to Verso, guys. This is where we're going to stay. I think a lot of the wildcard video, I'll stay on these teams. The Verso team and everybody else in Group A, because Group A is looking very stacked. Verso Time. The main problem that I saw from Verso Time all this, the last few seasons has been they haven't been picking the right players. I think they have an amazing coach. I really rate Coach Osprey. The Osprey guy is the guy who said that you need to give him, a few seasons and they'll be able to beat the Philippines. And I guess it kind of makes sense because they were able to beat Audi Philippines in that one tournament. Obviously, they didn't win, but they were able to beat them, right? They did pretty well. Verso are very good when they play with Justinian and AFK, all right? I really like these two. And before this, they actually had another jungler. They had a Mongolian jungler who was all right, I guess, Zeno, and they also had Boro. But genuinely, I think this was the roster that's the best. This is the best roster they have. They should have been using this roster all the way back from MCC last season before M Series. Then I think they would have actually made it over Virtus Pro. And that's how they were able to make it here. They finally decided to stick to Justinian and AFK. Now, having said that, though, I don't think Justinian and AFK are the stars of the show. They're amazing components that enable the rest, especially now that it's a utility jungle meta. Justinian is great. He's a very intelligent jungler. I really like his playstyle. But the star power, the main guns in this lineup has to be Castle and Kojic. These guys are great, guys. Mid laner, Kojic, and XP lane, Castle. Castle is, I think, the guy to look out for, man. This guy is great. I cannot wait to see him. And I genuinely think Verso Time are going to smash through everybody in Wildcard and make it to the main stage of MSC. I think they are levels ahead of the competition. But some of the Group A teams get close to them, all right? We'll get to them. But yeah, this is all I have to say about Verso Time. They're really, really good. Black March, kind of underrated as well. He's just a safe goal laner, but for the most part, you're going to be expecting bombastic plays from Castle and Kojic, all right? So those two, keep an eye out for them. Let's move on to the next team. Oh, God. A7 North. Nats, MSC winner, best player 1, Cold World, Zia, and Shark. I don't think they need any introduction. I think out of all the teams here, they're the most popular ones for sure at the wildcard. They have the biggest names. Shark, also a top 3 finish at M3 with Zia. So, you know, we know him, Cold World, back in the day with BTK, when Zane and Chicken were there. They never really made it to internationals, Mr. Nats, when he was playing for NA and best player 1, because unfortunately, there was Zane at the time. There were a couple of, like, you know, hindrances towards them making it to an international. And I actually thought they were going to make it over Entity 7 to the main stage. Unfortunately, they just didn't play that well, I'd say. I think there were a couple of throws here and there, and I think you guys agree over those last few games. This is a team that can do really, really well, but right now they are too reliant on just individual plays, guys. I think their synergy is still very, very off. Their drafts as well sometimes look a bit weird. I think right now with the meta looking like this, they should do better than how they did it against Entity 7. I think best player 1 on utility jungle is a question mark. I don't know if he can actually fill that role, but Nats on a carry and XP, he can definitely fill that role. Cold World on momentum heroes, I think that's a very, very good fit. Zia on a carry in the gold lane, a standard marksman, solid. And sorry, not Cold World, Shark. Shark on the momentum heroes, not Cold World. Cold World is now mid, by the way. So Shark on momentum heroes, I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's going to be fantastic. That's when, back in the day, he made it to top 3 finish when he was on those momentum heroes, when he was able to like force the issue, go on to these guys with heavy engage heroes. And I think this is a very, very good meta for him. I think they're going to be an A tier. I think they have the components to do it. Sir Rose as well, I rate him quite well. Their drafts are pretty solid sometimes. Obviously, there are some weird-ass drafts sometimes, but, you know, it's in Latam. They might have to, you know, play some weird stuff. I think they can be the dark horse of this tournament, guys, all right? A lot of people are already counting them out because they lost to Entity 7, and it makes a lot of sense, but I genuinely think they're very, very good. And speaking of very, very good teams, now, this is where it gets a bit weird. KOG, if you watch MSL Thailand, they are fantastic. They are so, so good. But they were so good when Kaizen was on Assassin Heroes. That's the question now that I have towards King of Gamers. What happens when now you need Payan to be the main carry and Kaizen is going to have to take a step back as the main carry? Like, Payan is amazing. Payan is one of the standouts as well. I honestly think the two standouts are the Filipino imports on KOG. It's Kaizen and Payan. Those two are fantastic. But Kaizen has to be on utility jungle now. And 33, their XP laner is pretty decent, but up against these top XP laners like Nats and Castle, I think there's going to be a big gap there. The same goes for the mid. Same goes for the roam as well. Nile and 33 are experienced players, but I don't know how experienced they can be and how good they can, or how well they can utilize that experience. Because again, when it comes to experience, all the top teams have experience now. I think they'll still be decent. I still think they're A, but how high of an A tier? I think they are going to be lower than A7, just because I think that XP lane is going to get gapped, man. Like a lot of top teams here, NA as well. And you're going to, before we even talk about FUT. So, yeah. Let's move on to FUT. FUT is another team that I think has the potential to actually beat these top teams, guys. Remember, last time we saw a Turkish team, it was also Kazue. They beat Virtus Pro. They actually beat the guys who I thought would just steamroll through the competition. And I think that's what the Verso Time are right now. I don't think they're going to choke like Virtus Pro. But, yeah, it's still something that they need to think about. You know, they got to be careful. FUT are pretty good. If you think Turkey hasn't grown as a region, fairs. Aurora has won everything. But FUT actually did make it close in the grand finals. It was 4-2 in the grand finals, which is a lot closer than I think a lot of people expect. Now, I don't know if Aurora were trolling or if FUT were genuinely good. From the gameplay, it looked like it's a good mix of both. So, yeah. For me, the main question is still, right now, how is Kazue going to do? Because Kazoo, he is an amazing player. He's great when he can carry the team, when he's on carries. Right now, the meta, again, doesn't really look like that kind of meta where he can carry all alone. So I think FUT will actually suffer a little bit. I think KOG might have a bit of an edge over them, but just because FUT, technically it was S2G, did well in the last wildcard, I will put them above KOG, who are still unproven, right? Yes, they have very good players, very good components, but they are unproven. FUT have made it to a main stage before. So now moving on to the final team of the wildcard chat, VSG. Now, VSG, I think not a lot of people know of VSG. So I'm just going to let you guys know that they have my GOAT, XBTR, by the way, Lord JM in XP. In this meta, I genuinely think JM is going to shine. He's going to do really, really well. And that's why VSG are a team that you definitely need to look out for, guys, right? This Group A is ridiculous. They also have Dixon in the mid lane. Now, maybe you don't know who he is because you didn't watch MWI, but he was the coach of VSG last 2 years. I think it was the first MWI. He was the coach for VSG. He's a big, strong dude, Mr. Dixon, man. And I don't know how that carry over to the mid lane. I'm joking, obviously. They're good. He's decent, you know. As a mid laner, he's not anything too crazy. He's definitely not a Kojic level, but he's great. He's great. And they also have very notable players like Carvey and Boro. Boro, obviously, ex-Verso Time. He was the main man for Verso Time, the main roamer for Verso Time for a while. AFK, obviously, a bit better now, but Boro's still very, very good. Carvey, Deus Volt was the last time he made it to an international, guys, and he was able to make it a top 5-6 back in M5. So Carvey's back, international stage. This is a team that can do really good stuff, but I think right now it's safe for me to put them lowest A. They still have a lot to prove, again, because this is such a fresh, such a new team. I don't know how well they'll do against teams who already have built-in synergy, who've played for a longer time and have had actual leagues, right? Like NA, Turkey, and KOG. I think I might put F. See, because Nats is in the lineup, it's making me feel like NA might actually be over, like A7 might be better than KOG, FUT, and VSG. But there you have it, folks. If you guys enjoyed the video, hey, click that like button. If you guys agree, go and say you agree. If you disagree, let me know which part of the video that you don't agree with, all right? Which one you think will swap. I think Verso Time, this one's just no debate, no arguments, guys. These guys are good. But yeah, everybody else, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in Wildcard. Again, check it out. 1st of July all the way to the 4th of July. We'll be doing the Wildcards live in Paris, France. And that's it. Peace out.